some breaking news. You're going to want to hear this if you're a sports fan, an NBA fan. Chris Paul has officially been waived by the Phoenix Suns. He's been notified that he will be waived.
Well, I'm glad that I took about a week off of making videos, because now that the Suns have introduced their new head coach, Frank Vogel, it looks like big moves are being made every time I fall asleep. So here on Suns Valley, we've really got our work cut out for us. But it is a great time of year. Hit that like button for us. It always helps us out. And tell me in the comments below, do you want the Suns to try to re-sign Chris Paul on a team-friendly deal, or are you just ready to walk away from him entirely? So 2 days ago, I made a video talking about how the Suns cutting Chris Paul could save financially the Suns offseason. Again, Torrey Jones was the one that brought this up from Blazers Uprise. He talked to us about it in the live stream. I don't want to make it seem like I thought of it all by myself, but I was very intrigued the moment I became aware of the possibility. Here's my reaction when he told us.
I appreciate that, Torrey. That's a great point. He says you can cut Chris Paul and spread that $15 million over 3 years and only pay $5 million per year. Cut him now! What are we waiting for? Okay?
Now, this is ostensibly a great thing for the Phoenix Suns, but there is a large question looming. Will CP3 return to Phoenix? Sounds crazy, right? Except that it doesn't have to be. I've seen reports today already talking about how Chris Paul intends to play several more years. I personally find the word several to be quite hopeful. But either way, the Suns have a short window with Kevin Durant to try to win a title. And that timeline lines up perfectly with Chris Paul's career expiration date. Some will say that his expiration date was a couple of years ago, but either way, if he wants to continue playing in the NBA, why not come back to the Phoenix Suns? Bottom line, we're about to find out how much a championship opportunity means to Chris Paul, because I have a sneaking suspicion that his real agenda is money. Just like the old saying, money talks, bullshit walks. And he always talks that talk about wanting to win a title, even saying that he was addicted to playing in the finals, which he's been ruthlessly mocked for since. Then yo, put up or shut up, Chris Paul. The Suns right now, all things considered, with the Nuggets taking over the league, look like they were 2 games shy of winning it all. Not that the Heat wouldn't have given the Suns problems, because they would have. They are right on the cusp, with next to no bench help and almost no role-playing talent currently on the roster. So here's his chance to prove to everyone that he cares about a title. CP3, you've laid the foundation with the Phoenix Suns. You know everyone there. They all love you. Is it about money or is it about winning? Not to say that another team that's in a win-now situation won't go after Chris Paul, because that can happen too. Most teams are going to kick around the idea of signing the 38-year-old point guard. Most serious will be the teams that think that their title window is open currently, while simultaneously needing point guard help to get over the finish line. And I can still see a team like the Spurs, if they're not able to get a point guard like Scoot in the draft, to put alongside Wemby. I could see them liking the idea of having a veteran presence, and who better than Chris Paul? And they have all the money on the planet right now to spend. So once again, this is going to come down to ego, money, or the desire to win a title. This is plug and play for Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns. You say goodbye to him as he walks through the revolving door, only to return seconds later on a fair, team-friendly contract. When the Suns, then owned by Robert Sarver, offered him this massive 4-year deal, it was for a couple of reasons. Number one, he had taken the Suns further than they'd ever gone before, and they weren't willing to see what it would look like without him, even though his age was advanced. And two, it was under the assumption that he wouldn't expire like a carton of milk left in the sun for a week. But he did. Now, I'm not saying that Chris Paul needs to accept a minimum contract from Phoenix, but if there is an ounce of humility rattling around in his brain, if the Suns are willing to offer him a face-saving $3 to $4 million a year, what better opportunity to quench his addiction to the finals than to return to the team that was built around him and Devin Booker? I've been calling for the Suns to let Chris Paul go most of this last year, but I would be the first to welcome him back through those doors, if it's on a friendly contract that allows the Suns to fill other needs. I can accept Chris Paul not being able to play in the playoffs if he's making less than $5-6 million a year. It's unacceptable when he's making 30. It makes your franchise look moronic. And it is moronic. If he can accept that and put his ego aside and maybe look at the fact that he's made a boatload of money over his career and doesn't need to be a top paid player because he doesn't play like a top paid player, and come back to the Suns next year with a more balanced roster and a DeAndre Ayton who has a coach that believes in him and wants to develop him and will actually draw up plays for him, then watch out for the Suns next season. I'm greatly in favor of re-signing him on the cheap, if possible. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you next time.